Hello my friends, William Poloniak here again from Whole Health Foundation. Today I'm going to make some watermelon juice because it's very hot and humid in sunny Southern California, so I want to make myself a refreshing drink. But today, instead of pure watermelon juice, I'm going to add 40 grams of ginger and 40 grams of turmeric. Let me show you the first step. Now the first step after washing the watermelon, it's very important to wash it, make sure it's clean, because I'm going to juice not only the flesh but the rind. So the first step is to cut it into manageable slices that will fit into my pressing cloths. And that's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches for each slab. Now the next step is to cut off the rind, and what I'm going to do is cut the rind off. Alright, here's my last piece of rind. I'll cut the rind off, press the flesh by itself, and then shred the rind with the ginger and with the turmeric. Now the first step with the watermelon is to slice it into manageable pieces, and I'm going to use the large knife for that. And the manageable pieces should be about 4 inches square. Now the first thing I'm going to do is shred the rind with the ginger and with the turmeric. And here's the last piece of my rind. What I'm going to do is keep these two containers of rind separate, press the flesh first, and then press the rind. Now the first thing I'm going to do is press my flesh from the watermelon, and I keep all of my cloths for fruit in the freezer separated, and these are my watermelon cloths. So the first thing I'm going to do is unfold the watermelon cloths, and what I'm going to do is use bamboo liners to line the cloth, because fruit generally sticks to the cloth. So what I'm going to do now is take a bamboo liner, I'll line the cloth, and if you look closely here, one thing I'm going to do with the watermelon is cut the corners off, because corners tend to burst when you're using bamboo liners, and I want to minimize that. So I'll put one slab inside, fold the bamboo liner over. Now generally I press one slab at a time because 2 slabs won't fit into the press, but just for sake of testing, what I'm going to do is try to put 2 cloths full with watermelon pulp and see if it fits. Folding in thirds in both directions, and then the cloth tightly, as tight as you can, the tighter the better, especially with fruit. So let's see if 2 cloths full of pulp will fit in there or not. Ah yes, we're lucky. All right, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it off a little bit, turn on the machine. Now it's very important to back it off a little. Fruit will tend to slip apart, and you don't want it to go up too fast. Now what I'm going to do next is reuse the bamboo liners. You don't throw this away, even though they're biodegradable. You can at the end of the process. Unfold the bamboo liner, put another slab of watermelon in, fold it over in thirds again. And even though this patty's getting a little thicker, let's see if we can get 2 cloths full of watermelon flesh in there. Nice tight package. Again, the tighter the better. Now let's see if we can get 2 cloths full of pulp in there again. And yes, we got lucky. So all the way back, back it off, and turn it on. And then advance it all the way. Now for the rest of the watermelon flesh, and again we're going to open the bamboo liner, and this time we'll put the pieces that we cut off inside. Fold the bamboo over, and again in both directions, and as tight a package as you can make. You might have to squish it a little bit. And again in both directions. The tighter the package, the better. Turn that upside down, put it aside, and fill the second cloth with more watermelon flesh. Now here's the last of my flesh. And that's going to overflow almost. So what I'm going to do next is juice my rind, but before I do that, what I'm going to also do is save this pulp, and I'm going to shred it and see if we get any more juice out of that after I shred my rind. Before I press my rind pulp, I'm going to pour this flesh juice into this container, and I'm going to mix both together later so I have a homogeneous juice blend. So what I'm going to do is take my pulp and pour about half of that. That's a little too much. Pour about half of that into the cloth. Fold the bamboo over that pulp. And I'm going to do the same in a second cloth and press two of these together. Fold that over again as before into thirds. Nice tight package. Again, the tighter the better. Set that aside. Do the same to the other cloth. And we're going to put 2 cloths full in the press. Back and back it off a little bit, and the reason we back it off is we don't want that to go up too fast. And notice the green color of the rind. It's also got turmeric and ginger in there. What I'm going to do with this rind juice is mix it with the flesh juice. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shred the remains of the flesh and see if we can get any more juice out of that. So I'll put the flesh into the feed tube and shred it, and then press it and see if we get any more juice out of it. Here's the last of the flesh shred. And what I'm going to do now is press the re-shredded flesh and see if we get any juice out of that. And what I'm going to do is use a measuring beaker to see if we get any more out. Pour this flesh, shredded flesh, about half of this container, into each cloth. Fold that over to as tight a package as I can make. Again, the tighter the better. And let's see if we get any more juice out of that pulp. And I want to point out that one of the advantages of putting shredded flesh pulp on top of this rind pulp with the turmeric and ginger in is that you hydrate it and you get a little more of that ginger and turmeric. So we'll put this in thirds again, just as we did before. and fold it in thirds. The tighter the better. I have a little bit of juice in the tray, so I'm going to pour that in there as well. And all the way. Well, it looks like we got a significant amount of juice. About 10 ounces. Well, we actually got 16 ounces of juice from pressing the already shredded pulp. So let's pour that into the bowl. And then we'll put it into bottles. Now I'm going to try one more thing. What I'm going to do now is put both of these cloths full of spent pulp together. I'm going to form it into a tight package, essentially a nice tight ball. I'm going to put it in the center of one cloth. I'm going to press it again to see how much more juice we can get using the Whole Health Foundation Premium model with that solid bottom plate. So there we have reprocessed pulp. We're putting it into a tight package, and let's see if we can get any more juice out of that. Now we've taken the spent pulp, formed it into a ball, and we're going to see if we can get any more juice out of that. So all the way back it off, and turn the machine on. Now I've repackaged this a second time, and let's see if we get any more juice. We had 6 ounces, and now we have 8 ounces. So that's, well, I think that's a significant amount. One of your last steps is to press the water out after you wash the cloths in cold water. Scrub off any pulp on the cloths and press off the water like I'm doing now. I'll put these cloths back in the plastic bag that I keep exclusively for watermelon, and I'll put those in the freezer. I'm going to take this smaller container and pour this juice into these other containers that are easier to pour into bottles. I think I've got a small enough portion there that I can just pour this in. Now I'm filling these bottles again and leaving 10% for distilled water or filtered water. I'm doing that because I don't want my juices to be too sweet. And this is especially important for a diabetic. Now I'm topping these bottles off with distilled water. You can use filtered water, even bottled water. Well, as you can see, I have 5-10 bottles of juice plus enough for a taste test. And remember, at least half of that bottle was from repressing the already spent pulp using the Whole Health Foundation Premium Model Juicer. So we got a significant amount of extra juice by repackaging the spent pulp and pressing it again. Well, let's do a taste test. My friends, here we have watermelon juice with turmeric and ginger. Let's give it a taste. That's very sweet. I can taste a hint of ginger and turmeric in this juice. It makes it very flavorful compared to straight watermelon juice. Well, I hope you like what you've seen, my friends. And if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to contact me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video.